This video is brought to you by the Humanity's Last Hope Squadron of Elite Dangerous for Thargoid hunting. This is going to be a build showing the most successful, effective ships that we have had in combating the Thargoids. Brought to you by Andromeda and Ed and CAC. We'll be covering the Crate and the Type 10. Type 10 is more for the team battles. As you see here, we're going to have a whole tutorial on the weapons placement. And you're going to need to have a well-balanced resistances across the board and at least a decently high shields with a very high armor health. It's going to be very crucial, detrimental to your sustainability during the Thargoid fight itself. So the light years, you're not going to have that much, but it's a heavy ship, so what can you do? We go to outfitting here. So hardpoint wise, you're going to want to have the Guardian Shard cannons up close damage with a full volley of 3 shots. They're going to do serious damage. Very good for the Thargoid hunting. I don't think there's that much any other better weapon at close range. The flak weapons, however, you're going to need those for the Thargoid swarms, which are doing extreme damage these days. Just a standard fix, remote flak launcher, that's all it takes. And weapon placement is going to be a very big crucial thing too. You want to have these on the bottom end of your ship while you have the gauze and the flaks, or gauze and the shards up top. Now of course you need the Guardian Shard cannons. They're the most #1 damaging against Thargoids. Easy. So the beam lasers you're going to need, especially if you're doing squadron fights, we're going to run Healy beams. Healy beams for both smalls is just enough to sustain that healing damage, or the healing supply that you will require. Perfect amount. 2 smalls may seem like not enough, but they work. Utility mounts, you're going to go all shield boosters. You're going to want to engineer these shield boosters for thermal blockade and thermal resistance shield. Now, you may be wondering why you want to do that. Well, if you go up here, you're going to run our prismatics. So for the prismatics, you want that enhanced low charge with that high cap. And doing this properly, you will get a 41.56 megawatts of total power. You will be doing 41.42 megawatts altogether, just within range. The perfect required amount of power that you will need. It's going to be close, but if you do the right engineering and get enough engineering going in, you will make it. For the rest of the utility mounts, should be showing this, okay. So for the rest of the utility mounts, you're going to want to have the shield field shutdown analyzer, just to cancel out theirs. It's going to be very useful. Xeno scanner, you got to see the hearts, and that pretty much covers the utility mounts at that point. Core internal reactive surface composite is going to be the #1 heavy duty armor you can get. You don't want to put reflective plating on there, because as you can see, the reactive surface composite minuses 40% to your thermal resistance. If you put the reactive plating on there, that's going to bring it up to a -22.4%, which still leaves it in quite the big negative. So you're going to do a lot of hull reinforcements, but you're going to want to engineer these hull reinforcements to have that reflective plating as well. You're going to engineer them all heavy duty, but you're going to do the experimental aspect for reflective plating. That alone will get you up to that resistance of that 47% thermal resistance. This also works in a PvE build. But as for Thargoid hunting goes, the resistances are detrimental, as well as the armor health and shields is just detrimental. You want to have it evenly across the board. Modular reinforcements will give you that sustainability for if you overheat, which should not happen as much in the Type 10, but when you're in the heat of the battle, anything can happen. You're going to need that modular reinforcements. Just a 4 and a 2 will be a significant help. That will be more than enough for the integrity wise. I have not had any modules break on me since just having a 4 and a 2. 3A fuel scoop, just to get around. That's the smallest you can run without having to wait 10 days for you to actually refuel a 64-ton fuel tank. So 3A, perfect. Still gonna wait a little while, but it's enough to get around without losing your armor. For the 1 slot, standard dock computer, because what else are you gonna put in there? Might as well, right? So you got your reflective plating finished out. You got your power plant. You're going to want to do armored power plant monsterized. Doing this right will give you the perfect amount of power that you need. And with the armor plating, you do not want your power plant to break. If your power plant breaks, you might as well say goodbye to your ship. Thrusters, clearly haven't gotten mine grade 5 just yet. Still working on the fine tuning. However, dirty drive tuning and drag drives. This thing turns like a bitch and you want it to turn like a ballerina. Frame shift drive, obviously the increased FSD range and all that. Life support, you want the 5A. That 25 minutes is going to be detrimental to your sustainability. If they do break your canopy, which is highly unlikely, you will have that 25 minutes, which leaves you 15 solid minutes to stay in the fight, which can make all the difference if you're about to kill a Thargoid. Power distributor, you want that enhanced charge and flow control. You rock in prismatics, you want that shield system recharge. We also want to be able to have all your pips go into one thing and instantly get that regeneration back up. Sensors, 4A, because why not? You already have the power sustainability if you're doing this right. And that pretty much covers the Type 10. Fire group though is very important. You want to have all your guardian shards and gauze and your beams doing some damage to them. With your flax on second trigger, so you don't have to maneuver, you don't have to swap out. You will have your beams on the second part though. Fuel shutdown earlier is going to be attached to your primary attack weapon button. That way you can constantly keep that fuel shutdown neuralizer in play. It will never stop coming out and you will keep it in play the entire time. These beam lasers are going to be on slot B though. That way you can use those Healy beams on your allies without doing any damage to them with your weapons. And a Xeno scanner on the second trigger. That way you only have A and B. Flip back and forth. Got the hearts, boom, good to go. Now that covers the Type 10. And Type 10 you're going to only use for Cyclopses to Hydras. There is one ship though that stands amongst the best for scout hunting. Not only can you use it for scout hunting, but it also plays it as a key factor in hunting bigger Thargoids and larger Thargoids. Crate Mark II. It shines as a one-on-one scout hunter, but you can use it and it will do the heavy damage and support the Type 10 and whatever else ships you have going in a squadron fight against the Thargoids because of the damage and the hard points that it has. But we're going to take a look at it in a scout form for hunting scouts. In my personal opinion, the Crate Mark II is the #1 scout hunting king. It is very good. It has the maneuverability, the hard points, the firepower, just an all-around good scout hunter. And if you're looking to increase your combat rank, this is it. Hardpoint wise, we have the flak launcher on there if we ever do want to take this to be a squadron hunting Thargoid ship, to hunt the big Thargoids. So you will need that flak launcher. Again, the 2 large shard cannons, detrimental damage up close, with the 2 gauze cannons, because everyone knows, or should know at least by this point, gauze cannons are the #1 Thargoid killers. They do the most damage. Same trigger, again. We got the Xeno scanner, just to unlock hearts, and shield boosters. Shield boosters, you can engineer them multiple different ways. You don't have to go that serious. Just weapons and other enough damage and sustainability for the shield boosters. You don't have to put anything really in the core internals. You could leave them as is, change them up, do whatever. What really matters though is having a lance. A lance is very good, especially if you have an experienced pilot, or if you want to bring your friend along. A lance is very good at helping take down scouts. Very good. You're going to want to have 4 Guardian Hall reinforcements if you're fighting scouts though, because scouts are going to hit you with caustic like it's no one's business. Those 4 caustic resistance will give you a max of 18.5, which is the current limit. 18.5 is all you need. That caustic resistance will basically do nothing to you at that point. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is for the Guardian Hull reinforcement. The Guardian Hull reinforcements, Gauss Cannon, and Shard Cannons are the 3 most primary, and that Lance, of course, as well. Those 4 things are the most primary things that you need to make a Crate the king of scout hunting. As for the armor health goes though, 500 shields, they can't break through. I mean, unless you're really getting beat down. But as you know, if you can maneuver, they're not that very effective at killing you. And as you see, my shield health is only 518, and they barely ever break my shields. Only when I'm getting jumped by like 12 or more, they'll break the shields. Yeah, you don't really have to go that detrimental. It's just that 18.5 caustic resistance right there that you really need to have. Weapon placement, gauze and shards on the same trigger, because the shards, not only do they fire and full volley, but the gauze will auto charge, so you won't fire both at the same time unless you intentionally hold the gauze to fire at the same time as launching shards. Remote flak launcher on second trigger, just for that quick accessibility if you're doing squadron fights against bigger Thargoids. And that's pretty much all there is on that aspect. You know, we got the second pillar, or row B for Xeno scanner, and the rest of those pretty much are those last 3, data link, discovery scanner, etc. You can basically do whatever you want to those. I like to have a 2 A and B for when I'm Thargoid hunting, that way I can have quick access. That pretty much covers the Thargoid hunting ships, Crate and Type 10, number 1 ships. And if you have any other questions, hit me up.